Welcome back to the channel. My name is Steven. I'm a pharmacist and I own 52 units of real estate. So I had a great question in the comments which I wanted to answer, asking, at what point do I begin paying off long-term debt? Does it make sense in this inflationary environment? So, obviously when you buy a lot of real estate like myself, I leverage to buy most of my real estate starting off, and then once the appreciation builds up over time, that's when your basically loan to value ratio decreases. So current state today, 52 units, they're worth about $10 million, and I have about $5 million in debt, so I have about $5 million in equity. So my loan to value for my portfolio is 50%. And I built this since 2017. So, obviously during COVID, interest rates went down. You could refinance and people were overbidding for single family homes. So values went up, as well as during COVID, interest rates were so low, cap rates are lower. So multifamily was going up, right? But now that interest rates are higher, the reverse is happening. Single family, it's pretty stagnant right now. It hasn't gone up, hasn't really gone down, but multifamily has gone down. Right? So it's a great time to buy multifamily if you can find the right deal and work with a reasonable owner, right? I have a video talking about how I'm working with an 18 unit off-market deal right now, and hope to give you guys more updates on that property as I go through this. But anyways, back to the question, at what point do I begin paying off long-term debt, and does it make sense in this inflationary environment? So the whole sale of real estate is if inflation is at, let's say 5% a year, but your interest rate is less than 5% per year, the value of your loan and your mortgage the principal that you owe, the loan that you owe is going down every year, right? So a $100,000 loan, like today versus 30 years from now, it's gonna be significantly less money, right? Because of inflation, our wages go up, our cost of goods go up, so that erodes our mortgage, right? So that's the whole advantage of 30-year fixed loans, is that a dollar today is worth more than a dollar tomorrow, which is worth more than a dollar in like 10, 20 years. So, to me personally, if your interest rate is below, let's just say 5%, and inflation is, high, like it is right now, I don't know the exact number, but it's probably above 5%. At that point, it doesn't make sense to pay down your mortgage early if you're looking at the numbers, right? So most of my mortgages are, you have a 2.7% mortgage, a 3%, a 3.5, 3.75, a 4. I have a 6.5 for my 20 unit. My primary is a 6.5. So, for me, the ones I would look to pay off if I want to would be my interest rates that are higher, my 6.5. So probably what would make the most sense to me is I want to either pay off my 20 unit, which has a small loan. I owe it's 6.5%, but my loan's about 300,000-ish, maybe 350K. But my primary is about 850K because I leveraged that one. So for me, it would actually make sense to pay off these two first, right? And honestly, unless I hit the lottery, or I become really big on YouTube or something and make a lot of money out of nowhere from my business, the most likely way for me to pay off my primary residence or my 20-unit apartment complex is if I sell one of my single family homes and take that high equity and then basically pay down my primary significantly or pay off my 20 unit completely, right? So that's the two routes I'd go. And there's no right or wrong. Like for me, I am a huge believer of at least paying off your primary residence free and clear, because you always need a place to live, and it just reduces one of your base expenses in life. And you can take more risk knowing that your monthly payment is just your property tax, your HOA, utilities, and insurance, right? Which is still $2,000, right? That's still a lot of money, relatively speaking. But in California, that's like rent, pretty much, right? I was renting a studio, small 450 square foot studio in Santa Monica for like $2,300 a month. And if I just can remove my, basically $5,500 a month mortgage, and principal and interest, it would reduce my base expense, and then I could, feel comfortable stepping away from my W-2 or scaling back my W-2, right? So even though it's like a bad financial investment-wise decision, but like in terms of your mental clarity, in terms of your ease, in terms of you being able to take risk and step away, I think paying off primary is a huge win, right? In terms of paying off the 20 unit, If financing becomes hard and trying to do a cash out refinance proves to be difficult, then I may have no choice but to pay it off, or 1031 that into something else. So for me, I would say as a rule of thumb to answer the question, if it's below 5% interest, like if it's really low and you locked it in during that time, like I wouldn't be in a rush to pay it off. But if you have interest rates above 5%, at that point, if you were to pay it off, you're basically locking in a 6.5% return on your money. If you look at the S&P 500, the average return is about 7 to 10%. But like I said, that one takes a long time to compound, versus if you want to pay off your property aggressively, you can do it faster in a couple years if you really wanted to. So, my whole inspiration and my goal with this YouTube channel, the coaching, the mentorship, is to take that money to help pay off my primary residence, so I can free myself of this my largest expense in life, and then it doesn't put the pressure on me to have to work a W-2, because real estate income is variable month to month, right? Like if you have a good month, I might cash flow 15,000, but in a bad month I might cash flow 5,000. In 1 month I might cash flow 0 or break even. Some months I might be negative, right? It really depends on how the property does. So hopefully that helps answer your question. Once again, if it's above 5%, I would say, hey, pay it off. If it's a primary residence, by all means pay it off, unless you locked in a great 2.7% interest rate and your loan isn't that much. But for me, I have a high loan and then a high interest rate, so it just makes sense not to do it. So hopefully that answers your question. Anyways, if you're looking to buy multifamily real estate with some guidance, check out the mentorship program. If you want to join a community of multifamily real estate investors, check out my school community. I just launched this. We have weekly live Q&As, as well as discussion boards to pick each other's minds and to network with like-minded individuals, because your network is your net worth, right? I'm a huge believer of that. Otherwise, let me know if you have any questions. Love to answer your questions in the comments. Please like, comment, subscribe. I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you so much.